My golden finger is finally here. Chen Mo wanted to cry without tears. That's right, he is a transmigrator, because a fortune teller said that he had evil spirits, and he was ordered to kill. 2 days ago, an inexplicable soul pierced into the Kanglan continent, a fake with the same name and surname in the Great Song dynasty. The reason why I say fake is because the original body has a twin brother who looks exactly the same, with similar height and voice. Sometimes, parents will admit their mistakes. Some time ago, there was a flood in Yuanshan's hometown. His parents died and the whole village was submerged. Only Chen Mo survived. After the elder brother who was in the palace knew the news, he took leave to go home for mourning. As a result, less than a day after the funeral was over, the original elder brother got sick and left hastily. Because before he left, the brother Yuanshi boasted about how good life was in the palace, and said that he was serving the Empress. The queen's concubine is kind, treats him well and so on. So, Yuan Shen's head was hot. After dealing with the funeral of his father, mother, and brother, he changed into his brother's clothes and entered the palace as a fake eunuch. I don't know if the original body was infected or what. He had a fever and sweating 3 days ago. Because the original body didn't want people to know that he was a fake eunuch, he didn't make a statement. Treat. In the end, she couldn't resist and left 2 days ago. And now Chen Maju occupies the magpie's nest. After mastering all the memories of the original body, Chen Mo broke out in a cold sweat. Good guy. The original body's courage is not ordinary. How dare he pretend to be his brother and come to the palace as a fake eunuch? Or the who serves the queen's concubine. If this is discovered, beheading will be light. This is to punish the 9 clan. How brave is this? Oh, it's gone, it's all right. In addition, Chen Mo remembered reading a news article on the internet once, saying that eunuchs in ancient times had to check their bodies every year, which was called cleaning. Therefore, even if Chen Mo can usually hide it, how long can he hide it? It is said that if you can escape the first day of the new year, you can't escape the 15th. Therefore, these 2 days, Chen Mo had a very torment, always worried that his identity would be exposed. Fortunately, the system is here now. Anyone who has read the novel knows that having a system means reaching the pinnacle of life and marrying Bai Fume, it is only a matter of time. Thinking that a better life is coming. Excited, Chen Mo quickly checked the system. Ding! The Immortal Cultivation Simulator is turned on. Countdown to the turmoil, 23 hours 58 minutes and 51 seconds on the 9th. Do you want to activate the Immortal Cultivation Simulation? 3 question marks immediately appeared on Chen Mo's head. This system is not right. Shouldn't it be the attribute panel, and then ask me if I want to open the novice gift package? What is the Immortal Cultivation Simulator? Could it be that little web game? The name Chen Mo is a bit familiar. Still a big turmoil? But at a critical juncture, Chen Mo didn't have time to worry about these, so he chose to open it immediately. Ding! The Immortal Cultivation Simulation has been started. Currently available talents: Master Lu Ban, Master of Desire, Golden Finger, Charismatic Master. Please choose 3 of the above talents to simulate Immortal Cultivation. Chen Mo got a little bit of interest. It turned out to be a golden finger of the nature of the game. No one knows this better than I do. Chen Mo selected 3 of the 10 talents given. Master Lu Ban, Purple IQ 250, able to detect the realm of the opponent. Master of Desire, Orange. If you want to achieve divine power, you must first come from the palace. Since the palace, the practice of exercises and martial arts has the effect of multiplying the results with half the effort, and the speed of cultivation is super doubled. Charm Master, Purple. The appearance value increases, and his own charm is super doubled. Talent has different colors, namely blue, purple, orange, and gold, with blue being the lowest and gold being the highest. Since it is the golden finger of the game nature, Chen Mo naturally chooses the best talent. As for the self-inflicted palace or something, it's a simulation anyway. After the selection is complete, the simulation starts. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You are in the palace, which is the safest place in the Song dynasty. You are going to grow up in a vulgar way, and then surprise everyone. Day 2, you were promoted from the 3rd class to the 1st class by the Empress. Day 3, a palace maid accidentally discovered that you were having an affair with the Empress, and you died. Ding! This immortal cultivation simulation is over. You can permanently retain a talent and solidify it into the real world. The Immortal Cultivation Simulator is cooling down. The number of days for this simulation, 3 days. Cooldown time, 30 minutes. Chen Mo's expression was blank. A little confused. Lying in a big trough. Having an affair with the Empress. Although the simulator expresses his consequences in only one sentence. But Chen Mo thought about it, it would be good for Ling Qi to wear a cuckold to the emperor. Chen Mo shivered subconsciously. This is definitely the effect of the charismatic person. But I have to say, this talent is really awesome. In just a few days, the queen could risk turning around and have an affair with one of his eunuchs. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. But the trough is the trough. Seeing that the simulator suggested that a talent could be retained and solidified into the real world, Chen Mo's heart pounded. It turns out that the real role of the golden finger is here. Chen Mo checked the details. Very simple. First of all, he can choose a talent to be solidified into reality every time after the simulation ends, and the talent will also be substituted into the simulation of the next simulator, and will not occupy the slot for optional talent. Secondly, I can simulate countless times a day, but I can only solidify one talent into reality. However, before you choose, you can lock in the talent you think is good, and when a better talent comes up later, you can replace it, but within the time of the day, you must choose one, otherwise it will be regarded as giving up. After reading it, Chen Mo was immediately excited. If you brush up one golden talent every day and withdraw it, then 10 days later, you have 10 golden talents, then it is not directly woohoo. He saw the dawn of life. After some thought, he first locked down the talent of Master Lu Ban. The Master of Desperation wants to go to the palace. As a man, that thing is gone, no matter how strong it is, what's the point? As for the charismatic master, it's too much trouble. Even the Empress can't stand it, he is still in the harem, let alone hooking up with concubines, even having an affair with a palace maid is a death penalty. 10 heads are not enough to chop off by yourself. In addition, the original body's appearance is already excellent, enough. Because he was still on vacation, Chen Mo was not in a hurry to go to work. After the half-hour cooldown was over, he continued to play the simulation. Ding! The immortality simulator has cooled down. Do you want to start the simulation? Yes. Current optional talents: Innate Divine Power, Beast Whisperer, Handicapped, 1 eye and 10 lines, Water Ghost. Please select up to 3 of the above talents and start the Immortal Cultivation Simulation. Chen Mo took a closer look and frowned. The talent this time was worse than last time. Soon, 3 talents were selected. Start the simulation. Master Lu Ban, Purple IQ 250, can detect the cultivation of others. Innate Divine Power, Orange. Your innate power is infinite, you can lift a tripod with one hand and crack a stone with one finger. Beast Whisperer, Purple, can communicate with animals. 1 eye and 10 lines. Purple, the memory is amazing, you will never forget what you have seen. During the half-hour that the Immortal Cultivation Simulator was cooling down, Chen Mo probably got the hang of the simulator. The so-called simulation, you can think of a general idea in your mind, and then the simulator simulates according to your idea. Chen Mo felt that he still had to be stubborn. To sum up the lessons from last time, don't get too close to the women in the harem. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You are in the palace, which is the safest place in the Song dynasty. You are going to grow up in a vulgar way, and then surprise everyone. Day 2, you fed the ants a grain of rice, and from the ants' mouths, you learned that there was a book of exercises buried in the queen's bedroom. You are thinking, but the idea of wretched development does not make you impulsive. Day 3, the Empress invited the concubines of the harem to a party, and you accidentally found out that if there is no cultivation method, no matter how powerful a genius is, they will not be able to spy on the door to cultivation. Fourth day, you sneaked into the queen's bedroom, found this exercise, and found that it turned out to be a low-grade exercise, the Heart Sutra of Unai. When you're about to carry it off your back, you're found, you're dead. This immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a talent and solidify it into reality. The immortal cultivation simulation is over. The simulation time is 4 days. System cooling time, 40 minutes. Chen Mo was shocked. It turned out to be Yunai's state of mind of a low-ranking heaven. Gongfa martial arts is divided into 4 grades, namely Tiandi Xian Huang. Each grade is divided into upper, middle, and lower grades, of which the sky is the highest and the yellow is the lowest. The low rank of heaven is already very high. Chen Mo took a small notebook and wrote it down. When he was about to replace Master Lu Ban with natural divine power, Chen Mo thought about it and replaced it with 1 eye and 10 lines. The reason, if he used the Immortal Cultivation Simulator to memorize Yunai's Heart Sutra, then he would be able to cultivate in reality. As soon as the 40-minute cooling time expired, Chen Mo began to experiment. Start the simulation. The Immortal Cultivation Simulator starts. Currently available talents: King Kong Barbie, One-Eyed Master, Water Escape. Please select at most 3 of the above talents. Chen Mo's face was black. What a wonderful talent this is! Still, the 3 best talents were selected from them. 1 eye and 10 lines, purple. The memory is amazing, what you have seen will not be forgotten. King Kong Barbie, purple. The body is feminine, the body is giant, but the sword cannot penetrate. One-Eyed Master, purple. Blind 1 eye and gain the ability to see through. Water Escape, orange. It can escape when encountering water, and travel thousands of miles a day. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You are in the palace, which is the safest place in the Song dynasty, but you know that if you don't have the strength, the identity of the fake will be exposed, and you will still die. So you sneaked into the queen's bedroom, got the cultivation method of Yunai's Heart Sutra, and left the palace with the help of Water Escape. Day 2, you were hunted down by the great masters of the palace, and you died. This immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a talent and solidify it into the real world. The immortal cultivation simulation is over. The simulation time is 2 days. Cooldown time, 20 minutes. Fuck. Chen Mo uttered a foul language. He just memorized Yunai's Heart Sutra, but did not take it away, but put it back the same way. How was this discovered? Is it a change in the body? Well, fortunately, I have obtained the cultivation method of Yunai's Heart Sutra. Chen Mo patted his chest lightly, feeling the extra memory information in his mind. The corner of his mouth curled slightly. For a while, he has not replaced it. If you encounter martial arts or something later, you can still use it. 20 minutes later. Ding! The Immortal Cultivation Simulator has finished cooling down. Do you want to enable simulation? Continue, open. Currently available talents: Body of the Cold, Sloping Foot Master, Liar, Suddenly, Chen Mo's eyes lit up. A golden light flashed before his eyes. Golden legend. The golden talent has come. Battle Eucharist, gold fighting madman. What can't kill me will only make me stronger, and when I am strong, I will become stronger. I have an extraordinary acumen for fighting, I can see the weaknesses of the opponent in battle, and I have a super comprehension of martial arts. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Chen Mo chose the holy body of battle without hesitation. In addition to the 1 eye and 10 lines that were locked before, 2 talents, the body of the sky and the lyre, were also selected. Body of heavenly cold, purple naturally, there is an icy aura in his body. He can't live to the age of 30. In terms of icy attribute exercises and martial arts, his cultivation speed is accelerated. Lyre, blue, what you say adds a bit of credibility. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You are in the palace, which is the safest place in the Song dynasty. You are going to grow up in a vulgar way, and then surprise everyone. Day 2, with the help of your spare time, you successfully comprehended the Heart Sutra of Nirvana and entered the path of cultivation. The third day, you successfully inhaled Qi into your body and became a 9th rank martial artist. Fourth day, you were valued by the Queen, and you were promoted to be a first-class eunuch. Day 5, you have been rewarded handsomely for your service to the Queen. Day 6, a peaceful day. Day 7, a day of peace. Day 9, you accidentally got a piece of ice spirit cold jade. Day 10, you have become an 8th rank martial artist. The 11th day, the Queen threatened you and her to double cultivation, saying that your identity as a fake was discovered by her a week ago, and you, who did not want to die, agreed. Day 12, you were picked up by the Queen, you are dead. After this immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a kind of immortal cultivation talent and solidify it into the real world. The immortal cultivation simulation is over, the time of this simulation is 12 days. Cooldown time, 120 minutes. I wipe. I thought I was going to be wretched all the time, and then surprise everyone. It turned out that the Queen saw through it a week ago. No wonder he has to be promoted to first-class eunuch. The eunuchs in the imperial palace are divided into several grades, and they are ungraded chores. The 3rd class of the 9th grade. 2nd class from the 8th grade. A 1st class of the 8th grade. Zheng Kaipan leads the class. A 6th rank inner servant. Zheng Wupan is in charge. From the deputy chief of the 4th rank, the main chief of the 4th rank. The deputy general manager of Zhen Sanpan. From the 2nd grade general manager. Chen Mo is now a 3rd class eunuch. Originally, he was responsible for low-level hard labor such as cleaning, building, and transporting the Queen's bedroom. Some time ago, when Chen Mo hadn't entered the palace yet, the original elder brother worked in the Queen's palace to eat and live, a relatively easy job. Chen Mo felt that the palace was also not safe. Also marginalized. After all, this master will also pick up supplements. Chen Mo remembered it in his notebook. Try to be a little bit more cowardly, don't cause conflicts with others and attract the attention of the Empress. After doing this, Chen Mo hurriedly replaced 1 eye and 10 lines with the holy body of battle. Boom! Chen Mo suddenly felt his body warm. When he crossed over, although this body was healed due to the problem of crossing, it was still relatively weak. At this moment, he felt that this weakness was completely gone. He listened carefully. In the room, he could hear the small laughter of the next door maid. Not only that, but his eyesight also improved. The bed was 3 or 4 meters away from the corner, but Chen Mo could clearly see the ants crawling in the corner. In Chen Mo's eyes, the whole world was like a film was lifted, and it was instantly clear. Not only that, he felt that his strength was much stronger. For the experiment, he got out of bed, found a hard rock outside the house, then went back into the house and squeezed it hard, and the stone instantly turned into powder. Chen Mo's heart pounded. It's just a battle of the Holy Communion, which increases his physical fitness so much. 9 more golden talents will definitely take off. Chen Mo is full of expectations for the future. Cuckoo. At this time, the stomach growled. Chen Mo glanced at the cooling time of the Immortal Cultivation Simulator. It was just right, so he could have a meal first. The queen's surname is Xiao, and she came from the Xiao family, one of the 7 famous families. The dormitory where she lives is called Viang Palace. The Viang Palace is very large. There are high blue-grey walls and blue-colored floor tiles everywhere. The courtyard is full of flowers and trees, and it is estimated to be several thousand square meters. Such a big place needs to be cleaned almost every day. Fortunately, this is the queen's bedroom, and there are 10 maids serving her. There are a total of 48 eunuchs. Chen Mo guessed that the original body would think of pretending to be his brother to come to the palace as a eunuch, and it probably has something to do with eating. Taking the 3rd class as an example, the annual food allowance is 4 taels, and the daily ration quota is about half a caddy of rice, plus some pickles, green vegetables, and occasionally some meat. Of course, in addition to this, there is some additional income. For example, if the Empress is in a happy mood, she will reward her servants with some money, and her original brother will also receive some. Also, since the original elder brother was in charge of the housekeeping duties, some people who wanted to see the Empress would also give him some bribes. There is money left over food and clothing. But the original body is different, often the last meal is not the next one. In addition, the village was also flooded. It is understandable to take the risk to come to the palace as a fake eunuch. Just when Chen Mo was filling his stomach and was about to go back to his room to continue brushing the Immortal Simulator, he heard a shrill voice coming from behind. Don't leave Xiao Chenzi, our family is looking for you. An old about 50 years old walked over with a whisk in one hand and the other behind his back. Chen Mo recognized at a glance that this was Wang Ying, the in charge of Viang Palace. Immediately, he bent over and arched his hands, and said, I have seen the prince. Little Chen Ziai, what's wrong with you? Why is your voice so weird? You're confused. Wang Ying frowned. Although she said so, she didn't ask any further, but said, looking at your appearance, it should be fine. Tomorrow, Emperor Fu Mao and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince will come to see the Empress. There are not many caring people. As he said that, he put his hand on Chen Mo's shoulder and said, Little Chenzi, we look at you well. You are very discerning. Whether you can seize the opportunity or not depends on your ability. The eunuch's promotion channel is to play with his master, and only when he is happy to serve him can he take power. And Fu Mao Emperor Ji and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince are the sons and daughters of the Empress. Serving them well is indeed an opportunity for Chen Mo. Thank you for your care. Chen Mo took out the remaining 3 taels of silver from his robe and stuffed it into Wang Ying. Wang Ying waited and frowned. It was only 3 or 2, but after thinking about what happened at Chen Mo's house recently, she said something to ask him to come to work tomorrow, and then left with a smile. Chen Mo looked at his back and cursed in his heart. If you seize the opportunity, just say it if you want money. Although he didn't want to block, he didn't want this opportunity, so he had to stand out, but this offended Wang Ying. As for Wang Ying, he is his immediate superior. If he offends him, sometimes he suffers, and his current identity is not visible. Once exposed, he will die. But soon, he turned his attention to other things. Because the moment Wang Ying patted her on the shoulder, the Immortal Cultivation Simulator stung. Ding! The blue Immortal talent pool has been expanded. He hurried back to his room, and Yu read www.yuyuganshu.com to check it. According to the description of the system, he can let the system copy talents and record them into the system by contacting other people or things, so that he can choose more talents every time he simulates. Simple and easy to understand. Wait until the cooling time is up. Chen Mo started the simulation again. Of course, optional talents: King Kong is not bad boy, Dong Fang is invincible, stealing chickens and dogs. In the above talents please, Battle Eucharist, Gold Fighting Madman. What can't kill me will only make me stronger, and when I am strong, I will become stronger. I have an extraordinary acumen for fighting, I can see the weaknesses of the opponent in battle, and I have a super comprehension of martial arts. King Kong is not bad boy body, blue. As long as the boy's body is maintained and the yang energy does not leak, the body can be metallized and the defense power can be increased. Eastern invincible, orange. The body is feminine and has a super high cultivation talent. Stealing chickens and dogs, purple. Thieves do not go empty, stealing skills are increased, and lightness attributes are increased. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You feel that the palace is not safe, and you find an excuse to ask for leave and leave the palace. Day 2, you stole a lot of money, bought food, and then went to the mountains to hang out. The third day, with your super high cultivation talent, you learned about Nirvana and became a 9th rank martial artist. Day 4, it was raining heavily. You found a cave to shelter from the rain, but a monster came out of the cave. You fought hard and escaped at the cost of biting off an arm. Day 5, you were poisoned and died. Nanny? It was actually poisoned. Is this monster poisonous? 50 minutes later. The cooldown time is up. Damn, I don't believe that a safe route can't be planned. Come again. Chen Mo started the simulation again. The locked holy body of battle, plus 3 talents selected. Still choose to leave the palace. After all, he is a fake eunuch. Once he finds out, it will definitely be a dead end. Therefore, Chen Mo feels that the safety factor outside should be higher than inside. Day 1, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised throughout the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You feel that the palace is not safe, find an excuse and leave the palace on leave. Day 2, because your eunuch's clothes are too eye-catching, you who believe in Go Deo, put on a beggar's clothes, and left the imperial capital Bianliang. The third day, you blended into the refugee team, headed south, and comprehended the Heart Sutra of Unai on the way, becoming a 9th rank martial artist. Day 4, you saved a girl with a good heart. In order to repay you, the girl decided to take you to go to her cousin. Day 5, you met the insurgent army, your refugee team was forcibly merged into the insurgent army. 6th day, a small leader of the uprising army forcibly insulted the girl you rescued, and you bumped into it. In a fit of rage, you killed the small leader, and then was besieged by the uprising army, and finally outnumbered you are dead. After this immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a kind of immortal cultivation talent and solidify it into the real world. The immortal cultivation simulation is over. The simulation time is 6 days. Cooling time, 60 minutes. I wipe. This rebel army is not a good bird. Forcibly pulling people into rebellion is fine, but also blatantly insulting women. With such an undisciplined team, can they overthrow the imperial court? Of course, there may be exceptions to this. But in Chen Mo's heart, he already had no good feelings for this rebel army. Then, Chen Mo refreshed the simulation several times. After changing various ways of dying, most of them did not exceed 10 days. Not killed by the insurgents. He was killed by the government as a rebel. The only thing that lasted more than 10 days was not leaving the palace. Then because the identity of the fake was discovered, Ling Qi died. After a while, Chen Mo was exhausted. However, combined with many simulations and a summary of the original body's memory, Chen Mo also has a general understanding of the Song dynasty. More than 1,000 years ago, the territory of the Song dynasty was dominated by many small countries and sects. When the sects were strong, they could even interfere with the affairs of the state, and the common people could not live well. Until 400 years ago, a genius was born and ended all this. This genius is the Emperor Taizhu of the previous dynasty. This former emperor, Taizhu, was a bit like the first emperor of Qin, who Chen Mo knew. He unified 13 countries, abolished all sects and religions, took the world's martial arts into the state, and divided it into 4 grades of heaven, earth, and yellow. Unified text. To unify the realm, the original realms of cultivation that are miscellaneous and different in different countries are divided into 1 to 9th grades. The first grade is the highest, and the 9th grade is the lowest. And in order to maintain the rule, only the heroes and children of heroes who are authorized by the royal family and the emperor can practice the exercises and martial arts on the ground and above. Outside of this, anyone who secretly practices exercises and martial arts at or above the ground level is considered a treason. But life is a little short. The previous dynasty existed because of him, but also died because of it. After the death of Emperor Taizhu of the previous dynasty, due to the lack of local military force, the emptiness of the internal army, and the tyranny used in the early days of the establishment of the empire, the people could not bear it, and the empire he created soon fell apart. Then the surviving royal relatives of various countries rose up and completely overthrew the empire. In the end, Zhao, the most powerful country, ate the fruit of this victory and founded the Great Song dynasty, with the country name Great Song. The system mostly adopts the former dynasty. The most important thing is that it relaxes the control of Kung Fu and martial arts. Set up 2 factories. This script feels a little familiar. It was already dark, and Chen Mo was also a little tired after the repeated tossing. Therefore, after writing down all the news that he thought was useful from the simulation, he went to sleep in a small notebook. In the dream, Chen Mo relied on the Immortal Cultivator simulator to become a master of the first rank, and then slaughtered the quartet, stunning everyone, the sleeping princess, the sleeping princess. At the end of the night, when I stayed at Feng's couch and kissed me with the queen, the dead emperor suddenly crawled out of the ground and strangled the dog man and woman to death. The dream turned into a nightmare. Chen Mo woke up with a start, his forehead was covered in cold sweat. At this time, I found that the sky was already bright. Snapped! I must have read too many novels, and I may not be able to save my life. I dreamed of sleeping with the queen, so Chen Mo slapped him. Despicable! While it's still early, Chen Mo plans to simulate again. The cooling time has already been refreshed, and it is now the 2nd day. According to the description of the Immortal Cultivation Simulator, Yu reading www.yuuganshu.com can get his own second talent. Chen Mo did not immediately start the simulation, but analyzed it and planned to change his mind. He felt that the reason why he was picked up by the queen should be because he was a cultivator, and he had a cold body, which contained an icy aura that was useful to the queen. As for the Bingling Hanyu, which he unintentionally obtained, Chen Mo felt that it should be arranged by the queen. Of course, it may also be the reason for the Battle of the Holy Communion. Therefore, in this simulation, he took the holy body of fighting and did not practice, to see if his holy body of fighting was discovered. Will it be supplemented by the queen? How long will it take for you to discover your fake identity? By the way, learn more about the Imperial Palace and find out more news about martial arts and martial arts. So, for the 10 talents given by the system this time, Chen Mo chose 3 inconspicuous blue talents, plus the Battle Saint physique that was solidified on the first day, and started the first simulation on the 2nd day. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You are in the palace, which is the safest place in the Song dynasty. As a fake eunuch, you just want to live well. The second day, you honestly installed a eunuch, listened less and did more, and were familiar with the environment of Vyang Palace. Day 3, the Empress invited the concubines and concubines of the harem to a party. You were praised by the concubine because of your outstanding appearance. You were very scared and your waist was even lower. Day 4, you deliberately made your appearance ugly, but no one noticed. Day 5, the news of the rebellion reached Bianliang, the capital was shocked, and the emperor was furious. He killed several people and immediately sent an army to suppress it. Sixth day, Nanyang Taishao failed to suppress the rebellion, was killed by the rebels, and Nanyang fell. Seventh day, the news that Nanyang city was occupied by the rebels reached the capital, and the court was shocked. Someone recommended the second-rank master Huangfuhao to lead the army to suppress the rebellion, and granted him the general of Zhouzhonglang. Day 8, Huangfuhao arrived in Nanyang and broke 3 cities in a row. Day 9, Huangfuhao defeated the main force of the Nanyang rebels and took over 6 more cities. Day 10, take another 8 cities. The 11th day, 32 cities in Nanyang County, all recovered. Huangfuhao shook the world. The 12th day, the capital received the good news, the emperor was overjoyed, and immediately named Huangfuhao as the general of the left. That night, the capital held a celebration party. Because of your ugly appearance, you were noticed by the concubine again and asked the queen for you, but the queen refused. Day 13, you were promoted to the second-class eunuch, the queen told you not to be ugly. Day 14, you have discovered a big secret of the emperor. The emperor is actually unable to do anything. The fact that he stays in the harem every night is just a pretense. The emperor has practiced a martial art and has not had with women for 3 years. I don't know why, but when you heard the news, you got excited. Day 15, Huangfuhao was assassinated. Day 18, Nanyang was captured by the rebels again. Day 19, the emperor was furious and killed many palace maids and eunuchs. Knowing the news, you shivered. 20th day, the queen was wronged by the emperor, she came back crying non-stop, and later asked you to squeeze her shoulders. You are afraid and anxious, but you dare not disobey the queen's order. Simply, your identity has not been discovered. Day 21, you were promoted from the second class to the first class eunuch. You were promoted twice in a few days, and you became a celebrity in front of the queen. Day 22, you were hated by Wang Ying for not showing filial piety to Wang Ying this month. You, who have already swelled up a bit, reported Wang Ying to the queen, so Wang Ying was transferred out of Vyang Palace. That night, the queen asked you to squeeze her shoulders again. At this moment, you have one of the 3 major illusions in life. You feel that the queen likes you a little bit, so when you squeezed your shoulders, you deliberately took advantage of the queen. Seeing that it was not discovered, your delusion is getting stronger. Day 23, the queen asked you to give her a massage, you agreed, and ate the queen's tofu again. Because it was too much, he was killed by the queen with the palm of his hand. After this immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a kind of immortal cultivation talent and solidify it into the real world. The immortal cultivation simulation is over, the simulation time is 22 days. Cooling time, 220 minutes. Chen Mo. No, you come out of the system, am I so brave? Will I die to take advantage of the queen? And my general idea is not go, why did you inflate my simulation? Ding! This system is based on the host's thinking, personality, etc. as a reference, and then simulates the trend. The reason why the host takes advantage of the queen and later expands is entirely due to the host's personality. Chen Mo. Slander. It is slandering me. Not just defamation. And insult me. Am I such a lecherous person? However, during this simulation, he also got some very useful news. On the 6th day of the Great Turmoil, Nanyang will fall. Nanyang is a county with more than 30 cities. Even Nanyang has fallen. This shows how serious the uprising is. Secondly, what the is this imperial concubine? Do you want me to die? Because the original body has only been in the palace for a few days, so even if Chen Mo inherited the original body's memory, there is no impression of the imperial concubine in his mind. Well, you have to stay away from the imperial concubine. Of course, the most important thing is that the emperor can't do anything. For some reason, Chen Mo grinned inexplicably. I am a fake eunuch, and the emperor is a real eunuch. Can't handle personnel, isn't it the same as a eunuch? But how did you find this kind of secret? The Immortal Cultivation Simulator was only summed up in one sentence, and it didn't say how it was discovered. The question that I had set for myself before has also been answered at this moment. The Eucharist of battle should not be found. After all, there were so many masters at the celebration, and no one noticed him. Also, if you don't practice, it seems that you won't be recruited by the queen. In this simulation, the reason why he died was that he took too much advantage. As for how long his fake identity was discovered, there is no answer yet. But as long as you keep a low profile, you should be fine after 10 days. So, do you want to practice cultivation now? Yunai also has the Heart Sutra herself. Chen Mo thought about it carefully, but gave up. You must acquire a talent that can hide your strength, or find a kung fu martial arts that can hide your strength. In this way, you can practice with peace of mind. Brother Hong, are you awake? The prince asked me to call you. At this moment, there was a knock on the door, and a coquettish, childlike voice sounded outside the room. Chen Mo was taken aback. Immediately he understood that he was calling himself. The original brother's name is Chen Hong. But everyone else called him Xiao Chenzi and Xiao Hengzi. Brother Hong, this is the first time he has heard it. In his memory, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com didn't even call him Brother Hong. Chen Mo was inexplicably nervous. If this person was an acquaintance of the original brother, it would be bad if he found out his identity as a fake eunuch. He cleared his throat and deliberately suppressed his voice, making it a little shrill. Wake up, what's the matter? Brother Hong, the time is coming, the Empress is about to wake up. The man said. Hearing this, Chen Mo's expression changed, remembering what Wang Ying's old man said to him yesterday. He didn't dare to delay, he hurriedly packed up, and got up to open the door. As soon as he opened the door, he came to a little dressed in white and clean clothes. Looking at his face, he looked like he was only 15 or 16 years old. When he saw Chen Mo coming out, he flattered and called out, Brother Hong. Well, I'm a little dizzy, and I don't remember some things, are you? Chen Mo had no impression of this person at all. Brother Hong, I'm the little mirror. Some time ago, I cleaned the queen's palace with you. Seeing that Chen Hong didn't recognize him, the little anxiously told the past of the two. He had heard that Chen Hong was valued by the Empress, and suddenly he changed from being an ordinary doing dirty and tiring work to a caring person who served the Empress's diet and daily life. Although there are many eunuchs who serve the Empress at Viang Palace, there are only a few eunuchs who can serve by the Empress. Although now Chen Hong is only a third-class eunuch. But judging from what the little mirror knew about Chen Hong, he would definitely climb very high. So at this time, the little mirror had to flatter him. Therefore, the title changed from Xiao Chenzi to Brother Hong. If it weren't for the abruptness that I didn't want to appear. He wanted to be called Grandpa Hong. The Empress is about to get up at 6 in the morning. That is, Mao Shi. After the maid dresses up the Empress has to go and salute the Queen Mother, and when she returns, a group of concubines will come to salute her again. After that, it was time to have breakfast. During this period, Chen Mo's job was to make hot water for the Empress. After the palace maid served the Empress's makeup, if the Empress didn't let him follow, he would go to prepare breakfast. As the queen, She has her own small kitchen. She can cook whatever she wants to eat in advance. The place where Chen Mo lives now is the servant's room in the Viang Palace, because after being spotted by the queen, he lives in a room alone. Before, he slept in the big bed like Xiao Mirror and the others. The area of the servant's room is on the south side of the queen's bedroom. After passing through 2 long corridors, you can come to the bedroom. Strictly speaking, today is Chen Mo's first time to work as a eunuch, or to serve the queen. His heart is pounding and he is full of anxiety. According to the little mirror, I only need to bring the hot water into the outer hall of the bedroom, and then the queen's personal maid will bring the hot water into the inner hall. But when Chen Mo entered the outer hall with a pot of hot water, he didn't see a palace maid, only the smell of sandalwood lingered in the house. Although there is only one bead curtain to cover the inner room, it would be disrespectful to enter without the queen's permission. Eating dozens of large plates at light level, or losing your life at worst. He is not a factory master. In the backyard of this deep palace, the life of the is like an ant. Just when he was at a loss, Wang Ying bent his waist at a full 50 degrees, brought a palace maid, walked in hastily, and whispered in his high-pitched voice, "Little Chenzi, Queen. Is your maiden up yet?" Chen Mo was stunned. "I didn't go in again, how would I know?" Chen Mo shook his head and glanced at the maid behind Wang Ying. As expected of a maid who can enter the Viang Palace, her appearance is absolutely unbelievable. "That's good." Wang Ying breathed a sigh of relief, then turned around and said to the palace maid behind him, "Cair, don't hurry in." After the maid named Cair bowed and nodded, she took the hot water from Chen Mo's hand and walked in. At the moment when she met Chen Mo's eyes, Cair was slightly surprised, and there was a hint of shyness on her face. Looking at Cair's back, Chen Mo was a little helpless. Being too handsome is also a sin. "No, I seem to remember that the queen's personal maid is not called Cair." Although he was puzzled, Chen Mo did not ask Wang Ying, adhering to the Go Dao mentality of listening less and doing more, and asking less. But he didn't ask, but that doesn't mean Wang Ying didn't say anything. Seeing the doubts in Chen Mo's eyes, Wang Ying whispered, "As someone close to the Empress, you must know it sooner or later. Our family will tell you now that when you were ugly, your Majesty came to Viang Palace, and Qing'er wanted to take the opportunity. Seduced His Majesty, only to be executed by His Majesty's orders." Chen Mo. Good guy. As far as he knew, the emperor he was at was no longer able to do anything. Now to seduce him. Isn't it courting death? However, in this harem, there are not a few palace maids who want to fly up the branches and become phoenixes. It's just that many people suffer from no chance. Chen Mo showed a look of fear. Seeing Chen Mo's frightened expression, Wang Ying snorted softly, and immediately said with a hint of pride, "Don't say that our family doesn't remember you. When Emperor Fu Mao and the Crown Prince come down in the morning, our family can arrange you specially. Waiting in there, others want this opportunity, but our family won't give it. I really thank you NM." The corner of Chen Mo's mouth twitched, and in his scolding mouth, he still had a smile on his face. "Thank you, eunuch. LB." Suddenly, the sound of the porcelain falling to pieces came from the back room, followed by crying and begging for mercy. "The Empress forgive me, the slaves didn't do it on purpose, the Empress forgive me." Hearing this, Wang Ying and Chen Mo's expressions changed at the same time. "You're here, let's go take a look first." Wang Ying opened the bead curtain and walked in. Chen Mo nodded. Soon, Wang Ying scolded Cair, followed by a voice as sweet as a yellow ying, "Wang Ying, Ben Gong asked you to find a caring person, so you can find such a clumsy person for Ben Gong. Someone to fool this palace. The slave does not dare, the maid is forgiven." The slave usually sees Cair's work is quick and easy, thinking that he is a caring person, but I didn't expect. "Forget it, let me refill the pot of hot water." I got up late last night because of what happened last night. If the time is delayed, I will not be able to spare you. Yes. Then, Wang Ying hurriedly backed out and asked Chen Mo to fetch a pot of hot water. Chen Mo followed suit. Because he was afraid that the queen would be really angry, Chen Mo used the fastest speed. When she came to the bedroom, Wang Ying actually let herself go directly into the inner hall. When he saw Empress Xiao, Chen Mo finally knew why he had such a dream. The so-called day has something to think about, and the night has something to dream. Although Chen Mo has never seen the queen with his own eyes, he has seen her in person. So dreaming YY is also in the process of cleaning up. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Now that Chen Mo has seen it, he also understands. I saw in front of the dressing table, sitting a luxurious and graceful beauty, wearing a simple and easy tomenage bun, with a slender scorpion exposed outside, with a mutton fat jade bracelet. Looking closely, the skin texture is actually better than that. The bracelet should also be warm. A pair of watery and bright apricot eyes. The beauty is difficult to describe. The face looks very young, but the plump snow-white body is full of mature charm. She pursed her lips slightly, plump and moisturizing. Blinking her eyes, she is so charming. No one would have imagined that this stunning beauty was actually the mother of 2 children. Chen Mo subconsciously swallowed his saliva. I thought to myself, I actually have the appearance of a hero. Holding on to the restlessness in his heart, Chen Mo didn't dare to look any further. After putting the hot water on the desk, he was about to back away respectfully, but was stopped by the queen. Little Hungzi, are you healed? Xiao Yongzi asked with a little concern. Hearing this, Chen Mo and Wang Ying and Caier next to him were stunned. The queen mother actually cares about a little eunuch. Chen Mo's heart was stunned. Could it be that there is a little secret between the original brother and the queen? Chen Mo said respectfully, thank you for the Empress's concern, and thanks to the concubines Hongfu, the sickness of the slave and maid is healed. That's good. The pastries you made for Ben Gong some time ago were delicious, and Ben Gong was a little greedy. It just happened that Fujin and Chang'er were coming in the morning, so you can make some more. Xiao Yongzi said. Chen Moran was stupid. The brain is buzzing. How could he know what kind of cake the original brother made? It's over, barbecue. What's wrong? Is there a problem? Seeing that Chen Mo didn't answer, Xiao Yongzi frowned slightly. Well, Kikai Niang, the servant went home a few days ago and learned a novel way of making cakes. I want to try it for Niang and to His Royal Highnesses. I don't know what Niang wants. Chen Mo bowed and said. There was cold sweat on his back. Is that so? Xiao Yongzi pinched Swibai's pointed chin with 2 fingers, and immediately said, then let's make these 2 kinds of cakes. Chen Mo. Empress, you don't know, the pastry made for you before is more complicated, and some ingredients need to be prepared in advance. If you do both, it may be too late. Chen Mo swears that his mind has never been spinning as fast as it is now. As for the novelty pastries, he said, they were naturally the pastries of Blue Star in his previous life. Xiao Yongzi looked at Chen Mo deeply. Chen Meqiang kept his eyes from dodging, and when he finally couldn't stand it anymore, he said, Miss, look, if it really doesn't work, I'm in a hurry to make 2 kinds of cakes. No need, you can just make the kind of novel pastry you mentioned. Xiao Yongzi said. No. Chen Mo breathed a sigh of relief. Bengong is very optimistic about you, don't let this palace down. Xiao Yongzi stood up and raised her jade hand. Chen Mo thought he wanted to help himself, so he quickly stepped forward and grabbed Xiao Yongzi's jade hand. Ding! The orange talent pool has been expanded. Bold! Seeing this scene, Wang Ying's frightened soul was about to come out, and she immediately shouted at Chen Mo, Little Chen Zi, what are you doing? Don't you want slaves to help you? Chen Mo was numb. Presumptuous, Empress daughter's body, how can someone who has no roots in your heart be able to touch? Come here. Wang Ying's forehead was sweating. After all, he was in front of the Empress and Empress yesterday. Chen Mo said a few words, but he didn't expect such a thing to happen now. If you let His Majesty know. Puchi. Xiao Yongzi burst out laughing, then waved her hand and said, Wang Ying, it's okay. Wang Ying nodded, and then shouted again at Chen Mo, the Empress has a good heart and forgives your sins. Thank you, Empress. Many thanks to the Empress. Chen Mo said nervously, hating Qing Palace dramas in his heart. That's right, he just learned the Qing Palace drama, thinking that the Queen wanted to help him. Okay, you all go down first. Xiao Yongzi said. The slaves retire x3. Outer Hall. Little Chenzi, you don't want to live anymore? Even if you don't want to live, don't implicate our family. You actually touched the daughter of the goddess. Wang Ying scolded Chen Mo for a while. Chen Mo listened honestly, and then asked, what was that lady doing just now? I asked Caier to take the towel. Wang Ying said angrily, then looked at Caier again, scolding her, and said, you too, Caier, you don't have any eyesight. If it weren't for the Empress's kind heart, if you were the two masters of concubine Yu and concubine Qing, you would have been killed long ago. After listening to Caier, she was very frightened, and she was afraid that she couldn't do it. But before Wang Ying finished speaking, she scolded Chen Mo again, have you gone back this time, have you become stupid? I don't know the rules yet, so I need someone else to teach you. The prince said yes. Chen Mo was also afraid for a while. Okay, you two, listen to me clearly. Heaven knows what happened just now. You know I know she knows. If you don't want to die, you'd better be strict with our family. Wang Ying said sternly. I'm timid, cowardly, I would never say it. The little girl was so frightened that her tears were about to come out. Chen Mo also nodded. Would he dare to say something about his life? Hearing the reassurance from the two, Wang Ying's complexion softened a little, and she said to Chen Mo, as for the pastry, our family will ask Xiao Jingzi to help you. Make sure to get this done. No. Chen Mo snorted, and then said, Eunuch Prince, is there anything special about His Royal Highness and Emperor Fu Mao coming here? I'll be ready. You don't know. Wang Ying looked at Chen Mo suspiciously. What do you know? Chen Mo was dumbfounded. If you don't count the memory of the original body, Chen Mo is a novice in this respect, and his understanding of the world is limited. In addition, his knowledge of the harem in his previous life is limited to film and television dramas, and only knows what. Today is His Royal Highness Diji's birthday. Caier said in a low voice. Birthday? Chen Mo was stunned again, why didn't you see any arrangement? The Queen's concubine cares about the world. She doesn't want to make a big deal just because her daughter's birthday is 1 day old, and it will cost the people and money. So 3 years ago, she ordered people to keep things simple when it happened. Wang Ying said. Oh. Chen Mo nodded. Then, Chen Mo and Xiao Jingzi went to the small kitchen in Viang Palace. It is said to be in the kitchen, but it is bigger than the kitchen that Chen Mo has seen in his previous life. There are all kinds of ingredients and kitchen utensils in it. Brother Hong, what do you want us to do next? The little mirror flattered. In addition to the small mirror, Wang Ying also arranged for 2 third-class eunuchs to help him. Little mirror, break the egg. That, you. My name is Xiao Litzi. And you? My name is Xier. You reading www.yuyuganshu.com. Okay, little plum, go and prepare flour and sugar. Xier, go and prepare some milk. Chen Mo arranged work for several people one by one. Then he reminded the small mirror, remember to separate the egg whites from the yolks. Beat the egg whites a little longer until you see white foam. That's right, what Chen Mo wants to do is a birthday cake. When he was in college, he worked part-time in a cake shop and learned the steps of making birthday cakes. Plus the birthday cake, it's really weird. No. The little mirror did as Chen Mo said. Brother Hong, is there no cow, milk, goat's milk and deer's milk? Xier said after looking around. Use goat milk. Chen Mo didn't try it either, so I don't know if it's possible. But the principle is similar, it should be possible. First add a small amount of oil to the goat milk, stir well, add flour, stir well. According to his memory, Chen Mo started to operate step by step. In the process, the talent pool has also been expanded a lot. But they were all ordinary eunuchs, and their talents were all blue talents. It took nearly 3 hours. Chen Mo finally made a tier birthday cake. Because there is no chocolate, Chen Mo used the special fruits of this world for decoration. Brother Hong, what's the name of this cake? It's the first time I've seen it. It's so beautiful, said the little mirror. It's called a birthday cake. Chen Mo smiled. Birthday cake. The little mirror's eyes lit up and said, good name. Little Chenzi, are the pastries ready? Wang Ying came over at this moment to urge. Both your highnesses are here, just waiting to eat the cakes you made. Holding the whisk, Wang Ying walked in, with a straight back, looking down at the crowd. Your Majesty! Everyone bowed and shouted. Naturally, Chen Mo couldn't be the maverick, so he bent over and said, Your Majesty, it's already done. Chen Mo pointed to the birthday cake on the table. Is this the kind of peculiar pastry you're talking about? Wang Ying circled around the birthday cake, and immediately said, Fantastic is quite peculiar, but it's so big, how do you eat it? It has to be cut with a knife. Chen Mo took out the wooden knife he had already made and showed it to Wang Ying. Well, bring it over. Wang Ying asked a little to eat a little, and waited for another quarter of an hour or so, and after tasting a little by herself, without damaging the overall beauty of the birthday cake, let Chen Mo serve it. No. Chen Mo squinted his eyes slightly, that was a test of poison, there are so many rules in the palace. The original body really hurt him badly. If he continued like this every day, he could guarantee that he would never survive the great turmoil 9 days later. Chen Mo originally thought that Wang Ying was gone after being tested. As a result, they came to the outside of the Queen's palace, and found 4 women dressed as guards standing outside, all of them splendid and unique. Chen Mo came to the outside of the hall and was immediately stopped. An expressionless woman came up, took out a leather bag from her bosom, then took out a silver needle from the leather bag, poked at the cake, and hurriedly put it in the sun to look at it. Until the silver needle did not change color, did he say, go in. Chen Mo breathed a sigh of relief and walked in tremblingly. Even if this cake is all right, it would be terrifying to be trimmed like this. As soon as he entered the outer hall, he heard a burst of laughter from inside. There was a delicate laughter, which made Chen Mo feel like a spring breeze. The sound was like a lark. Who's outside? Just as Chen Mo paused, a slightly angry voice came from the inner hall, and the chatter and laughter inside also stopped. Is that Xiao Hongzi? Xiao Yongzi's voice sounded immediately. Ki Empress, it's a slave, the cake you asked for is ready. Chen Mo said respectfully. Come in. No. Chen Mo took a deep breath, opened the bead curtain, and walked in with the birthday cake. As soon as he raised his eyes, what caught his eye was a large and small beauty on a cross chair. The big one is, of course, Empress Xiao. The youngest should be Emperor Fu Mao. The girl and Empress Xiao are somewhat similar, dressed in heavy makeup, with willow eyebrows and almond eyes, as white as jade, with a graceful charm, about 15 or 16 years old, looked over, her red lips slightly pouted, Mother, this is the little beside you. Is it so handsome? Hearing this, Chen Mo shivered suddenly, and his waist became lower, blocking the cake in front of him. Babes, this harms Lao Tzu. Xiao Yongzi smiled. Fu Jin, you scared him. Hey? Queen Mother, I'm obviously complimenting him, so how could I scare him? Zhao Fujin looked puzzled. Xiao Yongzi didn't explain, she looked at the thing in Chen Mo's hand, and said, Little Hungzi, is this the cake you said? It's really strange. Kiai Niang Niang, that's right. Chen Mo said. Well, present it. No. Chen Mo walked up quickly, without daring to raise his eyes. When he was about to put it down and leave, he was stopped by Zhao Fujin. Little Hungzi, this is the first time I've seen this pastry in this palace, may I have? Name. Chen Mo glanced up, lowered his head again, and said, His Royal Highness Diji, this cake is called a birthday cake. Birthday cake. Zhao Fujin's eyes lit up. Birthday cake. Xiao Yongzi couldn't help but be stunned when she heard the name of the cake, and immediately said to Chen Mo, Little Hungzi, you have a heart. This is what slaves should do. Chen Mo said. He didn't want to be in the limelight. Completely forced to this point. There is no way out. There are just a few kinds of pastries he can make. And only a birthday cake can do it. Little Hungzi? What's your real name? At this moment, sitting under the chair, a handsome young man in a four-clawed python robe suddenly said. Chen Mo followed the sound, but saw a majestic face. He looked about the same age as himself, 18 or 19 years old, but the temperament that had been in the top for a long time made people feel awe. His Royal Highness, the servant's name is Chen Hong. Chen Mo said respectfully, with a little fear in his voice. Suddenly, the man stood up and clapped one hand on his shoulder. Chen Mo suddenly felt a strange force rushing into his body, warm. But soon a huge pain came from his shoulders, causing Chen Mo to kneel directly on the ground, and the cold sweat came out from the pain. But Chen Mo couldn't care about the pain at the moment, and quickly knelt down and begged the man for mercy. Although he didn't know where he offended the prince, his life was worthless at all, and he had no right to question the prince. In short, begging for mercy is over. At the same time, a system prompt sounded in his mind. Ding! Orange talent has been expanded. Chang'er, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. What are you doing? Today is your sister's birthday, so you can't see the blood. Xiao Yongzi was also taken aback by Zhao Chang's sudden action. Brother, what's wrong? Zhao Fujin also stared at Zhao Chang with wide eyes. Bowing his hands towards Xiao Yongzi, Zhao Chang said respectfully, Empress Mother, it was the servant who misunderstood. I thought Xiao Hongzi was a famous warrior. A rainbow light flashed in Zhao Chang's eyes. After speaking, Zhao Chang threw a jade bottle out of his sleeve and gave it to Chen Mo, saying, Apply it once in the morning and evening, and it will get better in 2 days. Many, thank you, His Royal Highness. Chen Mo felt that his entire right shoulder was a little weak, but soon, he felt the pain in his right shoulder dissipated little by little. Little Hungzi, go down and rest first. Although all of this was just Zhao Chang's guess, Xiao Yongzi would definitely not blame her son for being an eunuch. No. After Chen Mo put down the wooden knife and explained that it was used to cut cakes, he withdrew. Outer hall. Seeing Chen Mo come out with an injury, Wang Ying was startled and asked what happened. After knowing that it was just a test, she breathed a sigh of relief, and after leaving the palace, she said, Little Chenzi, you are lucky, Prince. His Highness is now a master of the 4th rank. If he really wants your life, with your physique, he would have died a long time ago, not to mention giving medicine. Wang Ying said a lot. In short, don't let Chen Moji hate His Royal Highness. What a good dog. Chen Mo smiled bitterly and said, How dare I? Don't dare to be the best, otherwise, Your life and death will be a matter of His Royal Highness. Wang Ying left after finishing speaking. Looking at Wang Ying's back, Chen Mo's eyes suddenly darkened. The Queen's bedroom. Chang'er, what exactly happened? Xiao Yongzi believed that her son would not be targeted for no reason. Zhao Fujin also pricked up his ears curiously. Queen Mother, I can see a trace of evil spirit on this little eunuch. Zhao Chong said slowly, you must know evil spirit, generally only ghosts and those who have been on the battlefield and killed people have it. He is an eunuch. How can there be? Hearing this, Xiao Yongzi frowned and immediately said, I heard from Wang Ying yesterday that Xiao Hengzi went home to be mourned, his parents died, and his hometown was also flooded by a flood. It would not have been contaminated at that time. He is so pitiful. Zhao Fujin said beside him. In her cognition, Bing'a is already very pitiful, and now her parents are dead again. Zhao Fujin couldn't help feeling sympathy for Chen Mo. It's possible. Zhao Chong frowned and said immediately, but the Queen Mother, ordinary people living in evil spirits, don't have a long life. In order to provoke some bad luck, the Queen Mother should change the person to serve. Xiao Yongzi nodded, then sighed and said, unfortunately, there are not many caring people around this palace. Last night, Qing'er was beaten to death by your royal father. I heard about this. Seduce the emperor, it. Zhao Chong said. Hey, Ben Gong hopes that Qing'er can seduce his majesty. Chang'er, as you know, your father has not stayed in Ben Gong's bedroom for many years, and he always comes to see and leave. Xiao Yun with a sad face, Xi said, tell me, is this palace too old to attract your royal father? The Queen Mother is not old. In Fujin's heart, the Queen Mother is the most beautiful. Zhao Fujin hugged Xiao Yongzi's arm and said sweetly. Zhao Chong said this, as if he felt pitiful for his mother, and said, if there is really no caring person around the mother, there is no need to drive Xiao Hengzi away. Just let him cultivate. Zhao Chong said, although he is in a suffocating qi, his roots are very good. If he cultivates true qi, he should have certain achievements. In addition, he is a rootless person, and so on. A person with flaws, coupled with his late start in cultivation, even if he has achievements, it will not be too high, which is convenient for the mother to control. There was another word that Zhao Chong didn't say. As a powerless eunuch, he can only rely on his master, so he will not betray easily. Cultivation. Xiao Yongzi thought about it. The rules in the palace did not prohibit eunuchs from practicing. Instead, the eunuchs who entered the rank were all rushing to ask for it, but the eunuchs who entered the rank had to be registered as exceptions. Moreover, such eunuchs do not like to serve in the harem, and they will choose to enter the east and west factories to work for His Majesty. After all, in the harem, the death rate of eunuchs is surprisingly high. Can Chang'er recommend any exercises? Xiao Yongzi asked. Isn't there a copy of the Heart Sutra of Yu Nirvana that the Queen Mother has records of Ziwo and Mother Fire? The Queen Mother only needs to give him the version of the Heart Sutra of Yu Nai, and the Queen Mother holds the Fire Heart. Even if the realm behind him is really higher than the Queen Mother, the Queen Mother will also I can easily control him. Zhao Chong said after thinking about it. He also added, the Heart Sutra of Yu Nai is a low-level exercise, and the Queen Mother can make him be grateful to you. Zhao Fujin looked at his brother with some fear, and said in his heart, my brother deserves to be established as the heir by the Emperor, so he can calculate. Beijing, think about it. After returning to his room, Chen Mo took out Zhao Chong and gave it to the jade bottle. He opened it and smelled it. A slightly pungent medicinal smell surged out. Chen Mo frowned. But soon he was relieved. If Zhao Chongzhen wants him to die, he can just talk about it, don't be so troublesome, and give him the medicine. Therefore, after applying the medicine, Chen Mo started his second simulation today. Currently optional talents, Body of Yang Spirit, True Eye of Qinghong, Body of Water Spirit, Body of Stone and Rock, Please choose the last 3 of the above talents and start the Immortal Cultivation simulation. Chen Mo's eyes widened. Good guy, 4 orange talents came out all at once. No, it should be 2. The body of the Yang spirit and the true eye of Qinghong were expanded. Chen Mo looked at the descriptions such as the body of the Yang spirit. Body of Yang spirit, orange, a relatively good cauldron physique, and can nourish others to improve their own strength, but those who are harvested will die. In the process of harvesting, it is easy to find, and only the body can be harvested. The cold martial artist has big flaws. Qinghong true eyes, orange, can see through the roots of others' cultivation, evil spirits, murderous spirits, life, and has a certain probability to see people's luck. Body of water spirit, orange, it has a multiplier effect on the cultivation of water attribute exercises, and progresses rapidly. The body of stone and rock, orange, it has a multiplier effect on the cultivation of physical and earth attribute exercises, and the defense power is amazing. Good guy. Don't think about it. That Empress Xiao definitely possesses the body of Yang spirit. No wonder it will be supplemented. The reason was found. In addition to the fixed battle saint, Chen Mo also chose the eyes of the blue rainbow, the body of water and rock, and a common blue talent. Then I thought of a general idea in my mind, and made this simulation direction. The last experiment came out: if you don't practice, you can really live longer, and the identity of the fake has not been exposed. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. But what does that mean? Have you ever lived humbly in the palace? Always serving others? She was always in fear, fearing that her identity would be exposed. If that's the case, then let's be reckless and see what happens when you cultivate directly and don't hide it from the beginning. Of course, you can't cultivate in the palace, or you will be picked up by the queen. The first day, the great turmoil is coming, and the horns of uprisings have been raised in various parts of the Song dynasty. The sky is dead, and the yellow sky stands. You managed to get out of the palace and out of the imperial capital. Day 2, you have comprehended the Heart Sutra of Yunai and became a 9th rank martial artist. The 3rd day, you are on your way. Day 4, as your original identity, you signed up to join the army in Qingshan City. Day 5, with your 9th rank martial artist strength, you have been reused in the army and become a 10th captain. Day 6, you performed well in training. Day 7, you still performed well in training. 8th day, the rebellion spreads to Qingshan City, and you go with the army to quell the rebellion. During the war, you realized the murderous aura and broke through to the 8th rank martial artist. Day 9, the rebellion in Qingshan City was quelled. You were promoted to Centurion because of your outstanding performance in countering the rebellion. That night, Qingshan City held a celebration feast. You and the city owner's daughter fell in love at first sight, and the city owner also intends to match. Day 10, a large number of rebels attacked Qingshan City, the city is broken, you are dead. After this immortal cultivation simulation is over, you can permanently retain a kind of immortal cultivation talent and solidify it into the real world. The immortal cultivation simulation is over, the simulation time is 10 days. Cooldown time, 100 minutes. Was Qingshan Castle also affected by the rebellion? The Song dynasty is going to be cold. You must know that Qingshan City is only a few hundred kilometers away from Bianliang, and it is an important town. In addition to Chen Mo's previous simulation, the entire Nanyang County was destroyed. Looking at the audience, this was a two-sided attack on the capital. However, Chen Mo also found a problem. Since he developed a disgust for the rebels, the system defined the rebels as rebels. It seems that the system will change according to its own subjective consciousness. Since the Song dynasty is about to cool down, why don't you join the rebel army yourself? The so-called princes and generals would rather have something. Who does not have the dream of being a king and a prime minister? In addition, Chen Mo had read a lot of historical novels before crossing the road. Don't many protagonists become emperors step by step like this? He felt that the next simulation, he could try it. But now, Chen Mo first locked down the talent of Shi in body. In fact, what he likes more is King Hong's true eyes. But this talent was expanded from His Royal Highness. If he is locked, there will be no better talent later. Once it is fixed, maybe it will be discovered by the prince, and then Barbie will be Q. But just as Chen Mo was waiting for the cooling time, His Royal Highness Diji, Xiao Chen Zi lives here. Wang Ying's respectful and flattering voice came from outside the room. The sound is very small, it should be far away. The reason why Chen Mo could hear it was entirely thanks to the Holy Communion of battle. Well, I see. His Royal Highness Diji wait. What happened again? How can you enter such a lowly place where people with no roots live, with your precious body? It will damage your identity, Your Highness. Wang Ying said. Giggle, you're such an interesting person that you actually scold yourself. Zhao Fujin giggled. In the room, when Chen Mo heard Wang Ying's words, he also had a black line on his face. Fuck off, Lao Tzu is not a rootless person, you are. If you scold yourself, you are also a talent. Soon, the door was pushed open, Wang Ying stepped in, raised her voice, and said sharply, Little Chen Zi, the Emperor Ji has come down, why don't you come down to greet His Highness? When Chen Mo heard the sound, he packed up, put on his shoes, and was about to bow down and bow. A coquettish laughter sounded, no gift. Suddenly, there was a stunning girl in front of Chen Mo's eyes. Her clothes were better than snow, her wide sleeves were flying up, her eyes were as clear as autumn water, her delicate eyes were as white as cream, her eyebrows and eyes were slightly curved, like a quiet crescent moon. His Royal Highness Xie Diji. Chen Mo bowed and saluted, and at the same time glanced at Wang Ying, trying to figure out why Zhao Fujin came here. Who knew Wang Ying as if he hadn't seen it? He, you're welcome. Zhao Fujin smiled, then glanced at a chair. Before he could sit down, Wang Ying rushed over, first patted it with a whisk, and then wiped it with his sleeve before moving. In front of Zhao Fujin. Chen Mo. Thank you. Zhao Fujin didn't care and sat down. But this frightened Wang Ying seriously. His Royal Highness broke the old slave, this is what slaves should do. Zhao Fujin ignored Wang Ying. Like the people around him, he liked to make up his own mind, which was boring. She looked at Chen Mo and said, the cake you made is delicious. My mother and my brother like to eat it. Tell me, what reward do you want? Serving the Empress and Her Highness is what slaves should do, not asking for rewards. Chen Mo was diligent and eager to learn. No, I said I want to give you a reward, so I will give you a reward, hurry up. Zhao Fujin said deliberately with a stern face. Chen Mo, Sigma, degree, that, the one, given by His Highness, the servants like it. Chen Mo doesn't know what he wants, and it's also a question of whether it should be more or less. Well, let me think about it. It was Zhao Fujin's turn to be a little embarrassed. She really wanted to reward Chen Mo, so she asked Chen Mo. What he wants, he is completely a matter of words, but Zhao Fujin really doesn't know what to give him. And she didn't bring any money when she went out. Sweeping around, seeing Chen Mo still looking at him, Zhao Fujin bit his lip, took off a white jade pendant tied around his waist, and handed it to Chen Mo himself. This spiritual jade is given to me by my mother. Mine, now for you. Chen Mo, you said that the queen gave it to me, and I gave it to me. Do I dare to ask for it? After muttering in his heart for a while, Chen Mo bowed and said, this is given to Her Royal Highness by the Queen's Empress. How dare the servants ask her to take it back? Didn't you say you like everything I gave you? No, why does this sound weird? Just when Chen Mo didn't know how to answer, Zhao Fujin put the jade pendant directly into Chen Mo's hand, and immediately said, of course, this jade pendant is not for you, tell me how this birthday cake is made. Ding! The golden talent has been expanded. At the moment of contact, the system beep sounds. Chen Mo's eyes widened. Golden talent? Dying. This Emperor Ji actually has a golden talent? Her brother and mother, Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com are still only orange talent. But your highness, this jade pendant, slaves really dare not accept it. Chen Mo said with a wry smile. Little Chenzi, what's the matter with you? You dare to refuse again and again what your highness has rewarded you. Wang Ying scolded angrily. Chen Mo. Good guy. This seems to be caused by you. No way, Chen Mo had to accept it, and then told Zhao Fujin how to make a birthday cake. His Royal Highness, first of all, prepare eggs, goat milk, flour, sugar. Then the egg whites and yolks of the eggs should be separated, and the egg whites should be beaten. Bara. After Zhao Fujin heard this, his head became big. It's so complicated, I don't do it. If I want to eat it in the future, I'll come to you. Chen Mo nodded. Then Zhao Fujin chatted with Chen Mo for a few more words and then left. After sending Zhao Fujin away, Wang Ying returned. Facing Zhao Fujin's hunched waist just now, he straightened up instantly and said, Little Chenzi, that's right, even His Royal Highness Diji came to this servant's house to find you in person, and you will become more developed in the future, but don't forget our family. As he said that, he also threw the whisk, and a force shot out, and the blue stone slabs on the ground were all blasted with a hole. Warrior. Chen Mo's eyes narrowed slightly, and then he hurriedly bowed and flattered, what did the prince say? If it wasn't for the opportunity given by the prince, the little one would not have this treatment. Saying that, he is going to give Wang Ying the lingyu that Zhao Fujin gave. This jade pendant is a hot potato. But Wang Ying dared to ask for what Diji gave to Chen Mo. Not only did he refuse, but he also said in a high-sounding manner, Little Chen Zi, who do you think of our family?